My name is Dana Wasenik-Mendez. Dear Dr. Fenoy and esteemed members of the Palm Beach County School Board, I was greatly disappointed to hear of the decision to make face masks optional in all Palm Beach County schools in August. Under your leadership, our school district has made the best decisions for the safety of our school communities during this entire pandemic, which were based on solid science and followed CDC guidelines, until yesterday, that is. A mask optional approach in a school environment with vulnerable, unvaccinated children is not a safe decision. As you are all aware, masks do not protect the child who wears one. They protect all of the other children in the classroom from the asymptomatic COVID-positive child. Making masks optional is useless. The pandemic is not over, and yes, kids can get COVID. Despite the fact that most children who get COVID-19 are not in grave danger, this is not just a common cold or the flu. I highly recommend, if you have not already, you look at the COVID tracker that Florida Atlantic University has created. You can find it by Googling FAU tracker online. It provides very useful statistics for Palm Beach County on COVID-19. 219 children in this county have been hospitalized with COVID during the pandemic. Not just sick, hospitalized. And that's just our county alone. Our kids are still catching COVID. This April alone, there were 2,094 new positive cases in children in Palm Beach County, just in our county in April. Masks should be required until vaccines are available to all of our children. The CDC guidance that came out yesterday regarding masks is for vaccinated individuals. Our top health experts in the nation are still advising that unvaccinated children wear masks in school. I know you're hearing from a lot of angry parents who are done with the masks, and it truly is so sad that such a simple safety measure has become politicized in this country. But the children have adapted to the masks. They've done great, and that has kept our schools safe. Vaccines for all who want them are on the horizon. We all just need to hang in there a little longer. Let's not send any more Palm Beach County kiddos to the hospital, please.
Hi there, my name is Andrea Traynor. I am a parent of 2 students within the Palm Beach County school system. My son is in person attending classes in pre-K, and I have an 8th grader that just returned to campus for the first time this week to take testing, but she has continued to remain distance learning until she's able to be fully vaccinated, and I support her decision to do so. And I also would like to encourage the board to also keep in mind students that are not fully vaccinated, that don't even have the option of becoming fully vaccinated until, well into the next school year. I know that this is something that you are aware of. I'm not telling you anything new, but just in regards to the mask mandate and why it's important that we continue to keep the mask mandate as a protection to those students that have those concerns and that are anticipating returning to school. My daughter wants to come back to school. She does not want to stay learning virtually, although we are abundantly grateful for the opportunity that the school has provided in giving her that option to remain safe for this year. I just want to reiterate Dr. Alonso's comments that she made this morning at the Palm Beach Commission meeting. She's very concerned about the confusion that has been caused, with the CDC and President Biden. The guidance with mask wearing right now is very confusing for many people in different businesses and different scenarios. But I want to ensure that the mask mandate that the Palm Beach County School District has as a policy creates no confusion whatsoever, and that we are going to remain masked in the classroom throughout the remainder of the school year. And any indication that that will change needs to be clarified and put to rest as clearly as possible. Many parents seem to not understand, or, because they simply disagree with that policy, feel as though there are actions that they can take that are going to change that policy for the school year. So I really want to urge the school board to clarify as much as possible that will remain the policy for the remainder of the school year. Thank you very much for your time. Have a great day.
My name is Pam Weisbrod. I'll be speaking on agenda item BD2, mask mandates. I'm a Palm Beach County resident and a grandparent of 2 children, one of whom attends Lighthouse Elementary now, and the other will be entering in the fall. In listening to the County Commission meeting on Tuesday, Dr. Alonso reported that in Palm Beach County, there are more positive new cases in the 5 to 14-year-old range, and that the numbers since her last report in that age range have increased from 10 to 15%. She shared that this was an issue of great concern to her, as these children are not yet able to be vaccinated. She also was concerned about the long-term consequences of COVID in children, and again expressed that the fact that young children could not be vaccinated was a cause of great concern. To ensure the safety of the students, the teachers, and staff, I feel that masks should continue to be mandated for the rest of this school year and in the fall until all children can be vaccinated. It is not safe for a return to unmasked students and staff. When children attend in the fall, they're also going to be in a more dense environment, as social distancing can't easily be maintained with all students returning to school in person in the fall. Again, I think it's essential that we keep masking in place for the remainder of this school year and on into the fall. I think that we should follow the scientists and follow our public health officials as far as what is the best for our community, our children, and our school staff. Thank you.
Hi, this is in reference to item BD2. My name is Irene Smith, and I am a resident of Jupiter, Florida in Palm Beach County. I would like to say that I am in favor of enforced masks in all the public schools, in all the schools really. I have a 4-year-old and a 9-year-old who are not old enough to get the vaccination yet, and I would like to keep them healthy so they can keep their immunocompromised grandmother healthy as well. I will likely be returning to teaching in the public schools next year also, and I would like my students to wear masks, as I will also be wearing a mask so that I can protect my family. So yes, I am in favor of keeping masks mandatory in schools in Palm Beach County. Thank you so much.
Hello, my name is Beatrice Ramos. I'm calling for board discussion BD2 regarding mask mandate in school. I am totally on for masks. I have 2 elementary school kids still in public school. One of them has asthma, severe asthma, and he has an implanted little coil in his heart since he was a baby. I am already exposing him enough to send him to school. I pray to God every day that he's safe. Both of them are safe. I think that masks should be mandated until kids are vaccinated. I am totally up for vaccines, as my husband and I are fully vaccinated, and every time we go out in public, we wear our masks because we have 2 little kids that can get the virus. We have seen an uptick in cases on kids. I had a younger niece who got the virus last month in public school at one of the schools here in Palm Beach County, and it's very scary. She was in really bad shape. I hope that you hear our voices. We need kids to wear masks. As I see a lot of parents with kids in school, they go out and party, which there's nothing wrong with that, but, be safe so you don't bring anything to your kids, and the kids will bring it to school. I am really I hope you do leave the masks until kids are fully vaccinated. Please. As a mother of 2 in elementary, with one of them having a severe illness, asthma, it's really, it's really scary as it is. Please consider keeping masks in school. Thank you.
Hello, this comment is in reference to BD2. My name is Marina Newsom, and I am the parent of several Palm Beach County school children. I am leaving this formal comment so that the board is aware that my husband and I are very much against the masking of our children. We do not support masking our children for the remainder of the school year, nor do we support masking our children next year. We have children that have chose distance learning over attending in-person classes based solely on what masking does to them psychologically and how they feel personally being told to cover their face and nose during the school day, which inhibits their breathing and causes them anxiety. I also have one child who at the beginning of the year, when was attending face-to-face, unfortunately had severe headaches, migraine headaches causing him to vomit, which is the main reason he had to choose distance learning. We do not support in any way continuing masking our children, continuing this behavior that causes our children to feel unsafe, unhappy, and uncomfortable in school. Please do not continue masking Palm Beach County students. Thank you.
Hi, I'm calling to speak on item BD2. My name is Dr. Gene Levski. I'm a pediatrician practicing in Palm Beach County. I was encouraged by the statement put out last week by Dr. Fenoy. It is a step in the right direction, but it does not go far enough. By now you have heard the negative mental health effects that masks are having on our children. Our percent positivity is less than 5%. It does not justify keeping children in masks a moment longer. Masks should be optional immediately. In addition, the vagueness of the board's language needs clarification. There needs to be clear metrics by which a decision would be made to reinstate masks. This lack of clear parameters further erodes our confidence in the district.
Hello, I'm calling about agenda topic BD2 or discussion item BD2. My name is Samantha Gestel, and I have 2 kids. One is in 1st grade and the other is in 3rd. I'm calling because I would really, really love it if you guys could make masks optional and let families choose what's best for their children. I understand in the beginning of the pandemic it was important to wear them, and now the science has come out that kids are not super spreaders. The teachers can get the vaccinations, which has been amazing, and it just seems like it's more politics now versus the science. I don't really understand the necessity of them anymore. If the kids want to wear them, that's fine, but if they don't, I don't think it's necessary. I know private schools that are in Jupiter, and they didn't wear masks, and you know what? Their situation was the same as ours all year, so clearly there's no difference. So I don't think the masks were, needed, but I understood that it was a safety measure. However, now they are not needed. So I would just appreciate it if you guys would just stop thinking politics and just let the parents make the best decision for their children. We hired you to keep our kids' best interests at heart, and we feel, most of us, that you're taking advantage of the situation, you're taking advantage of your control, and it's pretty disgusting, and you should do the right thing. I know we only have 4.5 weeks left. Just why don't you do this? I don't have kids in high school, but gosh, let them enjoy their last couple of weeks in high school that are graduating and seeing their kids' faces. I mean, my kids probably don't even know what their friends look like, and it would be great if they could recognize them by their full face. So please just stop scaring our kids too. My kids seem like they're very scared to take off their masks, and it's disgusting, they shouldn't be scared. They should be happy and enjoy school. They shouldn't be scared, and they don't need to be, because the science tells us they're going to be fine. Please do the right thing. Also, please do not, well, actually, it's something else, but please make it optional. Let us make the decision for our children. We have the best interest at heart for them. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Nancy Gonzalez, a parent of 2 Palm Beach County kindergarten students. I'm calling to leave a comment on agenda item BD2, mask mandate. My comment is I'm requesting that you reconsider your decision for optional masking for students in the fall and make masks mandatory, at least for the elementary and middle school students, optional for high school students. Children under 11 are not yet eligible to be vaccinated, and Dr. Alonso just said today that at the county commissioners meeting that the COVID cases are on the rise for children aged 5 to 14, and the CDC still recommends masks for people who are unvaccinated. That would include elementary age and some middle school students. Please consider partnering with the Healthcare District of Palm Beach County to expand vaccine access to eligible students by setting up vaccine sites at high schools. This is currently being done in Miami-Dade County. I support the decision to not require masks outdoors, but please require masks for age groups that are not eligible for vaccines. I'd like my children to return to in-person learning, but will need to poll my students if masking is not required while my kids are not yet eligible to be vaccinated. Thank you so much for your time. Again, this is Nancy Gonzalez. Have a great day.
Yes, hi. I'm calling in reference to a mask mandate, BD2, and my name is Werfel Hughes, and I'm a school teacher, and I would like to address the mask mandate that has been implemented for the past 1 year and several months. I am a believer that based on mathematical and science data, based on CDC, masks are not necessary for children. Based on CDC data, for 2021, children 0 to 17, we've had 287 children fatalities for nationwide. So children are not mortally impacted by this virus. They are recovering. If they have experienced the virus, they're recovering very quickly, because as a school teacher, I've had incidents where children have recovered within a day. And I would like to also address that we, as a school district, have to implement proper accommodations for children with disabilities, and the ones that have 504 plans and IEP plans. And I'm under the impression that all these children have been placed in disadvantage because they haven't been accommodated properly. They've been only attending online, under my experience, and this is putting kids that actually require hands-on activities and other motor skill, learning. They're placed in a great disadvantage. They have dropped in their learning abilities with a year, for the time period, they have dropped a year or two behind in reading or math or science. Also have observed the kindergarten students falling behind because of a mask mandate. They are not able to learn phonetics and phonological awareness. This is borderline unacceptable, and it's not supported by science or math based on CDC data, which I looked up this afternoon, that there are only 287 children impacted negatively nationwide. Mask mandates have to cease,
Hi, my name is Preeti Cole, and I am calling to leave a comment on board discussion item BD2. I'm extremely disappointed in the school district's decision to make masks optional next year. My daughter will not be vaccinated when school reopens, and I don't feel safe sending her in if masks are not worn by all the unvaccinated kids and potentially staff. The science is clear that masks protect both the wearer and others, and if not everyone is wearing them, it does not get the job done, and the risks increase. The school district has done a great job in keeping everyone safe so far, so let's just hold on and do this for the last stretch. I hope this decision will be revised to keep our kids safe until kids can be fully vaccinated and the community spread is very low. Thank you.
Hello, this is Miss Angelique Brew. I'm speaking on item BD2, the mask mandate in Palm Beach County. I feel like our kids have suffered enough. My personal experience with my 11th grader is he started a new school this year. He was not able to get to know anybody. He basically spent the entire year alone.
My name is Memphis Sunnyday, and I'm going to talk about agenda item BD2. We shouldn't have to wear masks to school because they're pretty hard to breathe in, and students, teachers, and staff members are breathing in that air they already have breathed in all day. That can block their airflow and make them nauseous or lightheaded. Plus, most, if not all, teachers and staff members are already vaccinated, so they shouldn't have to worry about getting sick. I hope that you won't force us to wear a mask to school anymore. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Adriana Hansen, and I'm speaking on agenda item BD2 to keep students and schools with the priority of having masks until all students in Palm Beach County are able to be vaccinated. I am a teacher and a parent of 2 students in Palm Beach County, and in my household, we will be having 3 different people in our home go to 3 different schools. If masks are optional, that leaves my youngest child vulnerable to COVID-19. So I'm speaking today just to give some health department facts that Dr. Alonso released publicly on May 18th with students in our county or children in our county going from a 10% infection rate of COVID-19 to this week increasing 5% at a 15% infection rate for COVID-19. We are speculating that this increase is due to the fact that this age group is not eligible for the vaccinations, so they are not vaccinated. We will be going into the fall in our schools with this age group still not eligible for the vaccine under 12 in all elementary schools. I would like to say that I feel that our county needs to protect these students until they're eligible for the vaccine. I just wanted to let the board and the community hear my opinion, and I know I'm not alone in this situation. I do think that once we allow and it becomes an eligibility where everyone can get vaccinated, then I do support masks being optional. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
My name is Sarah Sunnyday. I am calling about agenda topic board discussion item BD2. I don't like the masks because some people think masks keep us safe. but most people have the medicine that keeps you safe already. It's very hard to breathe in the mask all day. And yes, I'm a kid protesting. I have been wearing masks for a whole year now. I don't want to wear it anymore. It should be my choice. Thank you.
I'm Erin Bradley, and I'm speaking about item BD2. I think that masks should be optional in school. When I answer or ask questions, it gets hard to breathe. It's also hard to hear my teacher when she's speaking. I'm my own person. Let me choose. My life is my choice. Please make masks optional in school.
This is Maureen Alvarez calling on agenda item 19, BD1, board discussion on COVID policies. It is May 2021, and the district has not announced and or publicly discussed what parents and children need to know about next school year. While it was announced there will be no simultaneous teaching, that was only a small portion of the information that should have been provided to us. And although Ms. Andrews has placed a request for this workshop on the agenda, the likelihood of the delayed decisions and announcements render this last-minute attempt useless. The topics that should have already been decided include, will the district prohibit overflow rooms? You're allowing additional bodies in all the buildings, but what are you doing? What systems are you putting in place for all children to be in the school at the same time? Will children be learning on Chromebooks? Will the use of electronics revert to pre-COVID use? Will children be permitted to check out books from the library, because some of them are being prohibited from doing so currently? Will children be writing on paper? Because, yes, there are children in this district that have not written on paper this school year. Will children be permitted to sit next to each other in the lunchroom and other areas of building as they did pre-COVID? Will extracurricular activities be available for all students, not just middle school and high school student athletes? Will band, art, clubs, field trips, etc., will all these activities be available and conducted in the same manner as pre-COVID? Will next school year be normal, as in the normal our children knew pre-COVID? When will this workshop be? Will the district commit to an immediate workshop and providing immediate announcement and commitments regarding next year within the next 10 days? The truth is, even if these questions are immediately answered, it is too late for some. It is ironic that the district's recent focus has been equity and equality, yet the district has not addressed the needs of the children that are suffering due to some of these policies that you have put in place. Thus, the time to leave the district is now. And I don't mean just more parents going to private or charter schools. I mean municipalities creating their own district. If we have to work with a district that will not provide the most basic, obviously basic information for next school year, then why not create our own districts? Let's hope that the board decides to answer these questions tonight or within the next few days, so that at least those that will not be leaving the district will know how to plan for next year. Thank you.
Hi, I'm calling to speak on agenda item BD2. My name is Leslie Candell. I am a parent at Loggers Run Middle and Waters Edge Elementary, and I wanted to state that I'm not in favor of removing the mask mandate until all students have had the chance to be vaccinated. It's one thing when all students have had the opportunity and the parents decide whether or not to get their child vaccinated, but to remove the mandate before that point is irresponsible as per the CDC guidance. I understand that a decision has been made for the fall, and I hope that the board and superintendent will look at community spread in the fall and potentially reconsider their decision depending on the situation. But again, the idea of eliminating masks now at this point in the school year is completely irresponsible. The kids are largely doing well
with the masks, and those who are having a hard time with them can do virtual school for the rest of the year. My daughter got her COVID shot the second day it was possible, and she still won't be vaccinated until school ends. And, of course, my 10-year-old doesn't even have that option. So please do not eliminate masks before school ends this year, and please seriously consider in the fall what to do. I'm not sure why a decision had to be made now other than to potentially eliminate pressure from certain parents that are against masks. So thank you for your time.
Hi, my name is Allison Negri, and I'm calling to leave a message regarding board discussion item BD2. We've been hearing since the beginning, I wear a mask to protect you. However, those vaccinated can now go indoors or outdoors without a mask. So if the teachers, administration, and parents are vaccinated, we don't need the children to be masked to protect them. If the adults are choosing not to get vaccinated, which I support their ability to choose, then that is the risk they must be willing to take. I received statistics from the Chancellor of Public Schools for the state, and of the 67 districts, 27 were mask optional and 40 required masks. The review of the data showed no link between face mask policies and county positivity rates. The way to keep COVID cases down is to keep your damn kids home when they're sick, since we've been doing since the beginning of time. The county's rates are under 5% for 13 consecutive days, and overall cases are down. Dr. Alonso states that cases among kids are up. However, hospitalizations are virtually nil for this age group, and there have been 0 child COVID deaths in Palm Beach County since the pandemic started. Not only is no one looking at the data and science, and we know this because you haven't met with the Health Advisory Committee since December, you're not even following the logic. So follow me here. Kids leave school, take off their mask, and get in the car with their unmasked parents, go home to their unmasked siblings, go to the store or their extracurricular activities unmasked, go to a friend's house and parties unmasked, and then go to school and are forced to sit in a mask for 7 or 8 hours a day? The policy regarding outdoor play and masks changed, and even that can't be enforced properly. You are making kids choose between playing with their friends and breathing because teachers are telling them if they're not 6 feet apart, they have to put their mask on. This is not what was discussed at the last board meeting. So here's what we need documented, because we obviously can't trust anyone's word for anything that is said. We need 1, metrics for Dr. Fenoy having the ability to change course and reinstate masks. That must be documented and reasonable. 2, dates on when parents or visitors will be allowed in the schools. 3, Dr. Fenoy's letter stated that masks will be optional in the fall, but other policies, including 6-foot distancing, will still be in place. This is unacceptable and needs to be taken out of what will happen in the fall. And 4, we need a policy regarding masks that needs to be rewritten that gives parents the choice now and forever. Marcia, you said at our meeting last week that this policy was overreaching, and you bet it is. Governor DeSantis said we are to have a normal school year next year. What has been stated and done is not normal. Come on, school board. You've promised to fight for what is in the best interest of our kids, and it's about time you start doing that. Thank you.
I am calling to speak on board discussion item BD2. My name is Amber Santamarina, and I stand with Parent Choice. Neither my husband nor I consent for our children to wear a mask at school. I'm terrified when my child comes home and tells me she cannot breathe. Masks are physically and psychologically affecting children. Is conditioning a child by bullying them into submission to cover their face the type of anti-bullying, free choice, loving, non-judgmental school you as a board preach we are? Children should not be mandated to wear a mask for a virus with less than a 10% mortality rate for children. Your laws do not supersede the governor's executive orders. This board is forcing children to wear a mask when it is known that the masks do not have the capability to stop infections. I repeat, neither my husband nor I consent for our children to have to wear a mask to school.
Hello, my name is Olga Tutonar, and I'm calling to comment on board discussion item BB2 mask mandate. I'm going to remind the board members and the superintendent that as a parent, I did not authorize you to make medical decisions for my children, because putting a piece of cloth that covers the nose and mouth of a child must be a decision made by parents, not the school board, not the superintendent. Like many other parents, I have kept my children at distance learning this year precisely to protect them from harmful and destructive mask and social isolation policies that you have devised and continue to enforce, I have to make a decision about next year, and I am not sure whether I'd like to be a part of this district. Please remember that this responsibility to making medical decisions for our children, belongs to us as parents. Thank you for your consideration. Goodbye.
Hello, I am speaking on agenda item BD2 regarding the masking mandate in our schools. My name is Melissa Kivitz-Kranzow. I am a local pediatrician as well as a mother of a kindergartner at Addison Meisner. I'm calling today on behalf of myself and of a group of South Florida physicians and healthcare professionals regarding my concern about lifting the mask mandate in schools. I'm speaking both as a healthcare professional, as a pediatrician, and as a concerned mother. I am extremely troubled by the decision to make masks optional in our schools this coming fall, or perhaps even sooner. This advice is at this announcement is at complete odds with the advice put forth by both the CDC and the AAP, the American Academy of Pediatrics, who both continue to clearly state that it is strongly recommended universal use of face masks in schools for adults and for all children older than of age. It is imperative that masking must continue in our schools, since most of the students in the elementary school are not even yet eligible for the vaccine. The new CDC guidance has removed masking mandates only for those individuals who are fully vaccinated. This did not apply to our children. Additionally, as a pediatrician, I myself have seen firsthand the impact that COVID-19 can have on children. While it is true that their illness is typically less severe than that observed in adults, we continue to see morbidity and mortality in children, not just from COVID-19, but from multisystem inflammatory syndrome, MISC, in children. We have not yet even identified all the long-term consequences that can be seen months to years out, perhaps, from COVID infection in children, even if their initial symptoms are not severe. And unfortunately, as we have seen in the last few weeks, we have seen increasing infection rates in the pediatric population with the emergence of new variants, some of which are more transmissible in children than the old strains were. There is no doubt within the scientific community and the medical community at large that masking does help to curb the spread of COVID-19. Epidemiologic studies, and I feel strongly that it would be a large disservice to our children and to our community at large to discontinue.
Hi, good afternoon. My name is Jessica Castillo, and I'm calling in regards to Agenda BD2, wearing a mask in schools. I would like for this message to be heard, and this is directed to the board members. Please know that I have two kids that attend Palm Beach schools. One is eligible for vaccines, and he will actually be vaccinated this week. My daughter, who's only 5 years old, was pulled out of daycare because of COVID. She has a low immune system, and we had to keep her home. She's very eager and happy to go back and start kindergarten this upcoming August. However, she would have to wear a mask. If you make the mask optional, she could be in danger of getting sick and potentially going to the hospital. So I ask that you please reconsider this, not only for those that are vaccinated, but also for those that are not eligible yet. I in agreement that kids should go back to having a normal life, but we have to be ready for that. The spike on infections is going up in kids. So here in Palm Beach County, we're having a lot of issues. I ask that you once again please reconsider this for the safety of our kids. As a parent, I'm concerned, and I really would like for my kids to wear a mask until they're fully vaccinated. And until then, they will be fully off mask, and being able to enjoy a regular life like they did pre-COVID. So I ask once again, please reconsider this. Thank you.
Hi, this is Kelly Lopez. I am the parent of an ESE student who has been in distant learning from day one when it went into effect. She will be entering into the 9th grade in August. However, due to my medical condition and not being able to even get vaccinated, this is just not an option. She cannot return to brick and mortar. As soon as I heard all students had to return to brick and mortar, I called Palm Beach Virtual, where I intended to enroll her, but I was told that they do not offer anything for my ESE student as her IEP requires access points. So I continued to call on to FLVS and was told the same thing. As a parent with a medical condition and an ESE student, the district must offer something for my student and other ESE students who cannot re-enter the building due to medical conditions. My child deserves her education as much as a regular ed student, whereas their parents have choices for them to continue online if they choose. This is not equal opportunity for our ESE students. I am again asking, what is the district going to do to accommodate my child and other children in the same situation? I certainly would hope that I don't have to keep her out of school because the district isn't offering an online teaching program for her and others. How awful that would be for her not to get her education that she's entitled to. Something must be put into place for our children. They must not be left out. Please do not sweep them under the rug. They've been through a lot. I know that the district can do it. You guys put it into place last March, a program for our ESE kids. This must continue for the ones that cannot return to the building due to medical issues. So I am asking the district to please do not sweep our children under the rug. They deserve their education. They deserve equal opportunity. They do not deserve to be discriminated against. They need an education. So I beg the district to please put something into place so these children can remain learning. If not, my child will lose her education because she will not be returning to the building in August. I've been in contact with Mr. Kevin McCormick, and I am asking the district to keep or put something in place for online learning.
Hi, my name is Kara Holt, and I'm speaking today on board discussion item BD2. I feel masks should be mandatory in schools until children can get vaccinated. The CDC's most recent guidelines only apply to fully vaccinated individuals. Dr. Fauci said that children in elementary school who have not been vaccinated in the fall should still be wearing masks. Moreover, the American Academy of Pediatrics strongly recommends universal masking in schools for adults and all children over 2 years old. Masking is a simple, safe, cheap intervention that saves lives. It's that simple. Please make masks mandatory until all children have an opportunity to be vaccinated. Thank you very much.
Yes, hello. I'm calling regarding BD2, the mask mandate. I am a grandmother, and my grandson is in kindergarten, and he will be in first grade next year. And I'm really concerned about the mask mandate. I really feel that until all children have the opportunity to get vaccinated, that there should definitely be a mask mandate that stays in place throughout this year and, of course, once August of this year for the new school year. I have big concerns about COVID-19, the variants. So I feel that if people allow their children to not wear masks and they don't wear masks and they're around other people that haven't been vaccinated and that could spread this new variant. I mean, why would we go back to everything getting closed down again when all you have to do is wear a mask until we know that the majority of our students are vaccinated and our teachers will be safe? I think it's just common sense that the masks continue to be worn. Thank you very much. My name is Carol Werfel. I live in Lake Worth, Florida, and like I said, my grandson is a virtual student right now in kindergarten, and we are really concerned about putting him in next year. Okay, thank you. Bye-bye.
Hello, my name is Matt Busili. I would like to comment on the board discussion BD2 agenda item regarding masks. Our children are our community's most precious blessing. Today in my neighborhood, kids can go to trampoline parks, movies, the mall, the bookstore, and county parks for hours upon hours and play with hundreds of children they don't know. But in our schools, they can't sit at their desks with the same 17 classmates without a mask. What is your reasoning? The science does not support this decision. The community is open, but you are continuing to lock down our children. It doesn't make sense. The data collected from FAU and Palm Beach County Health Department is clear. Our youngest population should have been the first to remove masks. There were 0 deaths attributed to COVID under age 24, and by far the lowest hospitalization rate here in Palm Beach County, with a few dozen admitted. Instead, you are forcing many of our children who are suffering to continue to suffer by your mask mandate. I am disappointed in your leadership for my 4 children. It is now 15 months of your 2 weeks to slow the spread. It's May 19th, 2021. Any adult and many children interested or vulnerable can receive the vaccine. It's time for you all to save face and unmask our children now. Sitting at a desk without a mask is a great, sensible step. Our petition has nearly doubled our supporters in 30 days, from about 4,200 signatures of people who want the masks off our children now to 8,030 signatures at 8 a.m. this morning. Please do the sensible thing. Unmask our children in school now.
Hello, my name is Dennis Bedoy, and I'm calling regarding Agenda BD2. I would like for the board to consider keeping masks in school until all children have the opportunity to be vaccinated against COVID-19. I have 2 children in the Palm Beach school system, one in high school, one that's starting in August, starting kindergarten in August. And, as parents, our responsibility is to protect and take care of our children, in the best possible way. And I firmly believe that by keeping the masks in the school, we can help stop the spread of COVID so that, the kids' chances of getting sick are significantly lowered. I understand the statistics, and I'm fully aware that the chances of our children getting sick, severely sick, and even dying are low, but why would we want to risk it? Why not do everything possible to not be a statistic, even if it's low? For families that lost a child to COVID, statistics don't mean anything. I know I wouldn't want to lose a child, and I'm sure that everyone listening to this message wouldn't either, no matter what political party you belong to or, religion or whatever you believe in. Our kids are everything to us. When you have your kids ride bikes, don't we make them wear a helmet? Why do we do that? It's uncomfortable, and especially here in Florida, it gets super hot in the summertime. It's uncomfortable, and we still make them wear it, right? But we do it to minimize the risks to our children, help make things just a bit safer for them. Following that logic, we should do the same thing for the masks. Let's just go ahead and do that. Keep the masks until everybody has the opportunity, all the children have the opportunity to get, the vaccine. And it'll just be so much better for our kids. I hope that everybody listening to this has a great day, and thank you very much for your time. Appreciate it. Take care.
Hi there. My name is Whitney Briggs. I am calling and leaving a comment regarding board discussion item BD2. I'm in opposition of the continuous mask mandate throughout the school district. I have a 6-year-old in kindergarten. This has deeply affected her psyche in terms of what it means to be in school. She has told me that the teachers have threatened timeouts for children that pull their mask below their nose. And she has told me how she has to utilize this mask when outside, during PE. There are tons of studies showing the psychological impacts of masks, as well as how they are more detrimental to the health of people who wear them. In particular, both surgical masks and cloth masks have been proven to be ineffective in lowering the transmission rate of COVID-19. The microns in the COVID-19 virus are small enough to push through both the surgical masks as well as the cloth masks. So along with the psychological effects on children and the fact that you can see the science is there that masks are not effective, I believe that if they were, we would not have had rises in numbers in the last year with this mask mandate. I believe that if everybody does their due diligence and if they have symptoms, they do not go to school, then we would have numbers be lowered that way versus these masks on our children. It's unconstitutional. Along with that, we have a 3-year-old who is profoundly deaf and uses cochlear implants. There are statutes in place showing that if there is a mask mandate, there's exemptions for deaf people and their family members. However, we have not found schools or consumer areas, stores, etc., that are aware of this. Our deaf child has not been in school, though she has her IEP that's in place for a school in Wellington so she can get speech services. However, we have not sent her because they are mandating mask wearing for her as well with her peers, for my 3-year-old, and her teachers. How is she supposed to learn speech and develop language if she cannot see the therapist's mouth, the children's mouth, and see the facial expression? We've fought this tooth and nail since the beginning of COVID and have seen no help in this regard. So I ask you to consider deaf people and hard of hearing people and their families. I ask you to consider the children and the psychological effects. And I ask you to trust the science and that these masks are not effective in. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Dane Semide. I'm calling on the agenda item board topic BD2 about the mask mandate. I'm calling to tell you to remove the mask mandate in schools immediately. My children have been wearing them for far too long. I will not tolerate this any longer. I am a business owner and in the past have been a financial supporter of public schools through the partner programs and have since pulled my partnerships due to this current administration's decisions. If the mandate is not lifted, I will be forced to take other actions by removing my 2 children from the public school system, thus removing even more funding from the public schools. The teachers that want have been vaccinated. You will not require to vaccinate my children, as there is no scientific proof that they are the source of the spread. You say you follow the science? Well, follow it and remove the mask mandate immediately from public schools. Thank you very much.
My name is Eliza Lieberman. I'm a parent of 2 elementary school children. I'm commenting on BD2 for the school district meeting. You need to unmask our children right now. They are suffering. They are out in 90 to 100 degree heat, humidity indexes, still outside, running around with masks on and in school all day. And it's just not acceptable anymore. Adults can go anywhere without masks, but our kids are now still forced to be in masks all day at school while their teachers take them off, why the lunch ladies don't wear them, and it's just not going to be tolerated anymore. Also, trying to push through critical race theory is not going to be tolerated by any parents, and you can deem it equity education, but we know what it is. Governor DeSantis put into law that you're not allowed to do that, and we will be filing in court as well for that because it's just not going to be tolerated.
Hello, my name is Tana Crawford. I'm calling on board discussion item BD12, which is the mask mandate. I'm calling because I want the mask mandate to end now for these children. Not the fall, now. The time is now. The children are still outside in 93-degree heat, masked up. This is not good for their health. My children have contacted impetigo, which is a bacterial infection around their nose due to the mask. And this is not good for the children any longer. End the mask mandate now. These are our children. It should be our choice, not yours. Thank you.
This is Patrick Manders. I'm calling about agenda item BD2 for the board meeting tonight. I'm a grandfather of 6 kids who are in the Palm Beach County School District. One of them is going to one of the public schools there. Of course, I have 2 children of my own who are adult children that live here in the county. And so I'm extremely concerned about the policies of Palm Beach County relative to masks. And I'll tell you why, for 2 reasons mainly. One is that they don't work. Everybody knows they don't work. The technology behind the masks proves that they don't work. And I have fact sheets from 3M, who makes the N95 mask, that show that even the N95 mask, which is supposedly the gold standard, 4 particles of COVID can go through a single pore in that mask without any interference. And 3M will not say that their masks are effective against COVID or any virus, because they're not. That's under best of conditions when the mask has 100% seal, and it's the very best mask, and it doesn't work. Now, the surgical mask, which everybody's wearing, the blue surgical mask, that the school board insists that every student wear, are absolutely, completely ineffective. They're 100 times more porous than the 3M mask, which doesn't work. Plus the fact that you could see that they're totally ill-fitting. Plus the fact that the children at that age are not candidates for serious COVID illness or even COVID illness at all. They have a very low capture rate, a very low spread rate, and totally they're free of any symptoms whatsoever most of the time. Not a single one has died. Not a single one will die from this. So the question is, why make kids wear masks when, number one, the mask can be proven that they absolutely don't work? Number 2, the only thing that we know that the masks guarantee is that the children themselves will suffer. And they won't suffer from COVID and health concerns about catching COVID. They're all suffering from the COVID experience, which is stress at home, a completely unnatural experience at school, the inability to socialize. And the only thing the mask really captures is it doesn't capture the breath going out. Those particles are too small, carrying any virus they might have. But it does capture bacteria, and it does limit the amount of oxygen coming in, and it forces the rebreathing of carbon dioxide going out. So the kids are being put under respiratory stress 7 hours a day for no reason whatsoever.
Hi, school board members. My name is Tom Collins. I live in West Palm. I'm calling about agenda item BD2. We have a 1st grader and a 4th grader in Palm Beach County schools, and I'm just getting in touch to ask that you keep the school's mask requirement in place. Vaccines aren't available yet for most children younger than high school age, and COVID cases have risen recently among children. Masks prevent infection best when all children wear a mask. And what's more, our children have not been bothered by the masks. They complain about a lot, but never about wearing a mask, because even they understand that they're important. Please do the sensible thing and keep our children safe by continuing to require masks in our schools. Thank you.
My name is Marissa Locke, and I am commenting on the board discussion item BD2. I am a parent of 4 children in Palm Beach County schools, and I urge you to make masks optional now. These children are the least vulnerable, yet you continue to keep them in masks. The irony that you're celebrating Mental Health Day this week, yet fail to be concerned with the effects of what you are doing to our children is not lost on me. If your thoughts are being concerned for teachers, then give them the choice to vaccinate and wear a mask. However, it is unfair that you light our children on fire to keep others warm. Do what is right by our children and unmask them now.
Hi, my name is Susan So, and I'm calling in regards to the mask mandate BD2. My husband and I have 3 children in the Palm Beach County School, and I'm calling regarding the mask being optional for the next school year. I hope you can reconsider and make the mask mandatory next year. Since the young children are not able to get vaccinated, by having all the safety measures in place today and continue next year will help keeping those kids safer. CDC also recommends as such for non-vaccinated people to continue practicing wearing masks and social distancing. With all children returning to school in the fall, it is crucial to wear a mask. It is not a political statement, but common sense to keep everyone safe. I hope you will reconsider. Thank you so much.
My name is Renee Jaffe. I am calling about board discussion BD number 2 related to masks at school. The school year is almost done. Our kids have worn masks for months and months and months without issue for the majority of the children. And I think that it would be prudent and make a whole lot of sense for us to just continue making that a mandate through the end of the school year. There is less than a month left. Our kids are used to wearing masks. We know masks have been helpful throughout the pandemic. We know our youngest children are not able to get the vaccine yet, and some parents are just deciding whether they're going to have their older children vaccinated. I think it would be so careless of the school district to change course at this point. I can tell you as a parent of 2 children, my children often come home wearing their masks and forgetting to take them off. Why? Because kids are adaptable and they are used to wearing these masks, which have protected so many of them throughout this school year. And again, I thank the board for continuing to have this mandate in place throughout the school year and encourage you to continue to do this. We just don't know enough right now to make that decision for our children. And as you know, there have not been widespread mass outbreaks in most schools because children are wearing masks. And we really should continue to do that. While the children are inside, they should be masked up. I can tell you I would not send my children to school if that mask mandate is reversed at this point. So I advise you to please continue with the mask mandate at least till the end of the year as we learn from data and scientists about what the data is telling us about the variants and the effects of the vaccine going forward. Thank you very much for this opportunity to speak today.
My name is Melissa Borden. I'm calling to speak about the mask mandate policy BD2. The definition of health is a state of physical, mental, and social well-being, not merely the absence of disease or infirmity. You are putting our children in a constant state of dis-ease. This disease or stress lowers their immune system. Your policies are placing our children in harm's way. It is you, not COVID, that are making these children sick. Dr. Alonso recently stated that only 18 children out of 170,000 recently were diagnosed with COVID, which is merely a cold for them. How many children have been suffering from headaches, anxiety, and other issues due to this mask mandate? I can tell you way more than 18. Tomorrow is the district's Mental Health Awareness Day. In celebration of that day, let's make it the first day that masks are optional. Stop being hypocrites and acting like you care about their mental health. Do the right thing. Take action today and end this mask policy now. Thank you.
Hello, all. My name is Erin Manders. I am calling to speak on BD2 agenda item of the masks. I'm a mom to a fourth grader at an elementary school in Palm Beach County. I'm also a behavior analyst. You can think of a behavior analyst as basically a psychologist who bases all of their decision making on data. We do everything based on data. I can tell you that I haven't seen one iota of data that would suggest that masking kids makes any sense. In fact, it's in the absolute other direction. It's clear that the decision to mask the kids was never about the science, though, and never about the data. So I won't go on about data or why it is all the different ways that it is or isn't beneficial. It's so obvious how this is a political agenda, and it's driven by unethical, evil, and perhaps even illegal motives. We'll see. We'll see how time regards this issue. But there's such a disregard for parents and students that's brought more into focus every day as each board member, and especially Dr. Frenoy's true colors, are exposed. The level of hypocrisy and even corruption is appalling. We see the writing on the wall with the statement that was released about the masking for the fall. We see what you guys are trying to do for next year with the verbiage, and it's all about authority for you guys. It's a big power trip, and we're not going to let this happen. And, you know, we're going to come out in numbers continually until our bill prevails here. These are our kids, and we'll do whatever it takes to achieve the kind of school year that they deserve, and that is to be unmasked. I know that there may be one or two of you even, hopefully, on the board that might kind of side with this kind of thinking, and I would urge you to stand up for what you believe in and don't be intimidated by the whole system that's in place to intimidate you and, you know, make you think that you're on the wrong side. You're on the right side. So stand up for us, stand up for our kids, and stand up for what you believe in, and get rid of these masks and make it immediately and make it never possible to come back again.
Good afternoon. My name is Rachel Eade. I am leaving a comment for board discussion item 2. Addressing the Palm Beach School Board on May 19th regarding the mask mandate. To the board, I ask, if a stranger walks up to your child in public, placed their hand over his or her face, and said, "Trust me, it's for your health," as a parent, would you sit back and say, "Sure, okay," and allow that to go on? No, you most certainly would not. You would scream, you would ask why, and you would beg and demand that person to stop. That is what you're seeing today, and that is what you have been seeing parents do all year. You, the Palm Beach School Board, are those strangers, and our children, who are completely nameless to you, are suffocating. And that ends tonight. Tonight. It does not end in 2 weeks. It does not end in June. It ends now. And we are demanding a vote to end this tonight. Not an empty promise, and this is not an idle threat. This is a reminder to parents that you've watched these children take their first breath and you swore you would die for your child. And instead today we are watching them slowly die at the hands of so-called health and the abusive ritual this school board has carried out for a year of forced mask wearing. The science has never supported masking children, and it will never prove anything other than years of trauma we are left to unpack. And who is going to undo that damage, school board? Is it you? We can't even begin until this masking ends, which is why it must end today. All across the country, you've seen parents determined to stand up and take back the choice for what is right for their individual child. Where is the developmental science guaranteeing our children will have no long-term physical or mental trauma? Where is the science guaranteeing your forced mask mandate will not delay the end this abuse of our children today, end forced mask mandates, make masks.
My name is Lilium Yakub. I'm calling to leave a comment on board discussion item BD2, the mask mandate for schools for this year. I'm a parent of 2 elementary school age daughters and 1 middle school child, and I believe that masks should stay in place until all students are able to be vaccinated. My husband got COVID before the mask mandates were in place. Masks continue to protect our students until they're able to get vaccinated. Until all of our students have the ability to get vaccinated, masks should stay in place. Our students are so resilient and so used to wearing masks at this point that it's not an inconvenience to them. My daughters forget to take their mask off when they get home. It's part of life right now. Please keep our mask mandate for our schools for this year and until all students are able to get vaccinated. Thank you for your time and consideration.
Hello, I'm speaking about BD2 masking. My name is Paulette Shane. I'm a retired nurse practitioner and a Palm Beach County School grandmother. The CDC continues to state that masks need to be worn by students, teachers, and staff in all schools. Masking decisions cannot be allowed to be decided by bullying and intimidating behavior. There is science, there are facts. Children can and do get COVID. Children can and do become ill. Children can and do transmit COVID. We need to continue to protect our children, teachers, and staff through the simple use of masks. The anti-mask people are willing to risk the well-being of everyone for their anti-mask obsessions. I can't believe you are all revisiting this issue after Dr. Fenoy stated masks will be worn through the end of this school year. What changed? Are you willing to risk the lives of people because you're intimidated by threatening behavior? The right, correct, science-based decision was already made. Mask until you see the virus status in the fall. Requesting a mask optional position is like playing Russian roulette. Please honor science and the lives you are responsible for protecting.
Good morning, my name is Diane Donovan. I am calling in regards of the BD2 mask usage at the public schools. I believe the mask should be still in place. We are not 100% certain of the disease of COVID-19, and I believe this should be reassessed on the next January, perhaps, as I believe we will have a better understanding on how many people have been vaccinated and how it's affecting the news trends from India and from Brazil. I think we are precipitating ourselves to lax a little bit on the mask, and I believe that should be used a little bit longer. Thank you so much, and I hope you guys consider my option of mandating the mask at schools.
Hello, my name is Gail Gilbert. I'm speaking on issue BD2. I would really like the mask mandate to stay in place for the children who are not vaccinated per CDC guidelines. I have a child who is 11 years old. She is medically fragile, and we do not know how she would react to getting COVID. We almost lost her once before, and we will do anything to keep her healthy. By letting children who are unvaccinated not wear masks to school, you are making it a dangerous situation for my daughter. It is not fair that my daughter has to put her life in danger to go to school when the CDC does mandate that in order to take your mask off, you must be fully vaccinated. I ask you, please, unless the vaccine age is lowered, please make unvaccinated kids wear masks to school to protect the other children who deserve to have the same education as everyone else and should not have to transfer to a virtual school. I believe it is a violation of my daughter's faith to expose her to unvaccinated children while at school. I appreciate your time. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Ivana Villasno from Boca Raton. I would like to address the agenda of the BD2 for the board discussion regarding masks at school. I am in favor that masks continue to be at schools. I don't believe we are ready yet. We need to know more data about the efficacy of the vaccine and the new COVID-19 strands. Even though the preliminary data show something, there is a big agenda to vaccinate people. We still do not have enough plan of care from doctors or following after the vaccines. The CDC suggestions right now, they are limited in testing with people that are being vaccinated. And for ends, if you don't test, we will not know the new numbers. So it's obvious the data will show low. There are different issues in India and Brazil, and all these strands have been already in the United States. My kid is not vaccinated and will not be vaccinated. We have pre-existing conditions. My kid has special needs, Asperger's. I will consider doing virtual school, but if the mask will not be longer required at the school settings, my kid will not go to school. I will take a sabbatic year because this is unacceptable. People who are requiring ending the mask, they have political bias. This is not about politics. This is a community outreach for the whole worldwide situation right now. So please continue the mask so my kids could continue going to school. Thank you.
Respectable members, my name is Angelica Castillo. I'm a concerned parent. I do have a 9-year-old daughter that goes to elementary school. I would like to be heard because I do feel that masks need to be mandated until all children can be vaccinated. My daughter is 9, so I'm unable to have her vaccinated. She's in elementary school. Now with more kids in class, there's less space in the classrooms for them to social distance. So I feel that the only way to protect my daughter is to have her wear a mask and the children around her. It's for our children's safety, it's for my daughter's safety as well as the community. And all I'm asking is that it's mandated for schools until there's a vaccine for our children. At this time, there hasn't been one approved. But once one is approved and we can get a good number of our children vaccinated, then you can start relaxing the mask mandates. But I feel for the safety of the community as well as my daughter and the children that go to our public schools to please keep in mind that, it's still not safe for people that are vaccinated to not be wearing a mask. You guys have the science. I appreciate your time and your intelligence and really taking our voices into consideration. Thank you very much.
Hi, my name is Casey Barnes. I'm calling in regards to BD2. I have a son in Palm Beach County. He's in the first grade. And I know as of recently, you guys changed to mask optional in the fall. What concerns me is that Dr. Fenoy said that he reserves the authority to change course, which means if we had another spike, he would go back to masking our children, which again is taking control over my child's civil liberties, his rights, mental health, and physical well-being. These are our parents' rights, not yours, especially when it comes to mandating something that is more detrimental to their health and does more harm than good. Breathing in your own carbon dioxide for 6 to 8 hours a day, 5 days a week is extremely toxic, especially with children at my son's age, who for one doesn't even wear his mask the right way. We're not talking about masks, that doctors and surgeons wears in hospital settings. These are school-age children who touch bathrooms and toilet seats, barely wipe their bottoms and noses right. They pick up things off the floor. I mean, my son's mask comes home every day an absolute mess, from dirt, dried mucus spots. And it's sad that he's involuntarily forced to wear that all day long. His skin has taken a toll. I know Dr. Alonso said yesterday the average of positive cases have gone down over the last few weeks. We are at 4.4% in Palm Beach County. That's under the 5% goal that she set. She said that she is concerned for our children because of the rising cases. I'm not quite sure what she means by that because there are only 18 new cases of children from the ages of 5 to 15 years old in Palm Beach County, which has over 175,000 students. She said, and I repeat, only 18. That's less than 0.001%. And on the flip side, has a 99.997% survival rate. As of Tuesday, yesterday, May 18th, 4,515 COVID-19 deaths reported by Florida. 4 have been children under 18. I repeat, 4. That's 1% of children. So 99% of people dying from COVID are over the age of 18. They are more likely, our children, to die in a car on the way to school than from COVID. But we don't stop taking them to school every day. I'm saying this mask policy in place, it's ludicrous. We need to get these masks off of our children. I am so sick of hearing my son say that he can't breathe and his teacher telling him if he pulls it down, he'll get COVID. Instilling fear in these kids. The authority at his school, whether it's principals, teachers, staff, I can't speak for all, but some are taking it too far and becoming these masks and instilling fear into our children. So please look at the data, make an educated decision, do what's right. We're mothers, we're just trying to do what's best.
Hi, this is about board discussion item 2, BD2, and I left a message before. I don't know what happened to it. I'm going to do it again. I don't want my child wearing a mask at school at any time. I don't want him forced to distance himself from other students either. I don't want him thinking that there's something wrong with being close to other people, and I don't want him seeing his classmates and teachers' faces as a set of eyes with cloth underneath. He's 5 years old. He needs to see the whole face for social development, and he just turned 5. He also needs to breathe freely, and it doesn't take an expert to know that this is damaging. My son will be coming into the school district for kindergarten. We already got a taste of the neurotic law enforcement for pre-K speech class. I was told that masks will come down to be able to see speech, but it will be kept down as much as humanly possible. And it seems that only the latter is in fact happening, because on his first day, I was told that neither him or his teacher lifted the mask at all. And when I asked about this, I was told that it's just the first day and she could hear him just fine through the mask, and this is not effective speech therapy.
Children, especially of his age, are not at high risk and don't put adults at risk either, not much anyway. Other parents in the program have noticed that the progress in speech is especially slow this year, and it's obvious that the mask, for as little as it helps the situation, is more important than the task of teaching kids. It's almost like a religion where the mask trumps every other aspect of education, especially when the kids are even when the kids are exerting themselves outside. If they're not distanced, they're still being forced to wear it, even though I understand that's not supposed to be happening. But I've seen it very recently myself through the fence of the school that my son goes to for his speech. I can go practically anywhere now, indoors or outdoors, without a mask, but my 5-year-old can't. And there's no common sense in the school district. There is nothing to wait for. If you care about the children you've been trusted to care for, this needs to stop right now. Not in the fall, not conditionally, and not to be revisited. Effective now and forever, or you're going to lose kids to private schools and anywhere else that kids can learn without these insane rules. We are serious. We are not putting up with this.
Hi, my name is Jennifer LeCompte, and I am calling under BD2. I'm the mother of the triplet girls at Jerry Thomas Elementary School, and they're part of the ESE program there. I had a choice once class resumed in person to send my children to school or to continue with online learning back in the fall. And I was thankful then that each of you listened and opened school up. I'm a working mom of triplets with ASD, and the teachers watched painfully as I struggled to teach my children remotely, and they were sympathetic as I did everything in my power to get them to focus and learn. Had I not had the choice to send them back, they would have been subject to much more severe delays. And I'm thankful and grateful to the staff of that school because they've been amazing. However, there's more choices that we need as parents. I was not happy about the masks and social distancing, as my girls need to learn socialization as well as improved speech and communication, both expressive and receptive. The mask restricts and creates auditory issues when trying to see others' mouths moving, hear clearly, and enunciate correctly. The masks do not allow for learning and understanding facial expressions. My children, along with many others with IEPs, already face enough challenges. I have heard from a number of children, parents, and staff in the community that masks have caused anxiety, sadness, fear, etc. to mainstream children who can speak, and yet voices are still not heard. It's time to give the choice of whether to wear a mask or not to everyone. Please hear us now and allow these masks to be optional. I was very lucky for the staff I have, and I'm sadly not all the staff in Palm Beach County is as compassionate as the team that we have. Please make masks optional starting immediately. If you attend young athletic sporting events, drive through neighborhoods, you will see countless parents, grandparents, siblings, and athletes not wearing masks. They're happy, smiling, and in close contact, and it has been this way for a very long time. Adolescents are smart. They learn from the best teachers, and they are questioning why it's okay outside of school but not inside of school. These are the children that you have taught to question these things. So please, again, I ask to hear us now and to make masks optional immediately. Thank you.
Hello, I'm leaving a comment on Agenda BD2, the mask mandate. I think that the children under 12 years old need to continue to wear a mask because they do not have vaccine availability. And if you check the Saturday update from the CDC, it said that all school children should wear masks in school. So I think that's the only way to ensure our children are safe. My name is Tom Pereverzov. Thank you very much.
Hello, this comment is directed to item number BD2 with regards to mask mandates. My name is Gordon Gilbert. I have 3 children within the Palm Beach County School District, one of whom is medically fragile. And as it stands, I think the guidelines of the CDC clearly state that if you have been vaccinated, there is no need for a mask. Ergo, if you have not had the vaccine, you should still maintain social distance and social barriers such as masks. Until such time as that vaccine is available for all students across the board, the policy should remain in place. or they should not be. They should be limited from wearing a mask if they can prove vaccination. A lot of go back and forth on this issue, that it's freedom and free speech. But do remember how we treat our sickest and poorest is really a reflection on all of us and how we treat each other. Do understand that people still are susceptible to this, and do understand that we should provide them with as much security as much as we value our freedom. Thank you for your time.
Hello, my name is Lainey Cavaleris, and I'm calling in regards to Board Agenda Item BD2 for May 19th. I'm calling to end the mask mandate for all Palm Beach County schools. This is unlawful, it's ridiculous, and we need to unmask our children and quit making them feel like they have done something wrong and let them breathe. We need to think about the repercussions beyond just COVID, their mental state, their emotional state, everything. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Jessica Willoughby. I am commenting on Board Agenda Item BD2 to end the mask mandate. As a parent of two children, 8 and 9 years old, who come home daily complaining that they can't breathe and they cannot understand what their teachers are saying, I am advocating for this mask mandate to be moved absolutely immediately, effective today. These children do not have any reason whatsoever to be in these masks. They are at the lowest risk possible for catching or transmitting COVID-19 to anyone. Now that there are 3, if not more, vaccinations available to people to receive, there's absolutely no reason whatsoever our children should be suffering when you can go to Publix and walk down the aisle maskless, or Costco, or the mall, or anywhere for that matter. You can go ahead and enjoy your life, but these children are suffering because of the decisions you have made. I am advocating that you end this mask mandate effective immediately.
My name is Shayna Latulip, and I'm calling on Board Discussion Item BD2. As a mother of 3 school-aged children and one who has studied statistics and child development, having my degree in secondary math education, I firmly believe that masks should have never been on our children. According to the low case numbers, the low transmission, and the low severity in children, if you compound these statistics together, they do not justify masks. The harmfulness of children wearing masks far outweighs whatever may have been used to justify this. Thank you.
My name is Patsy Davis. I have 2 children at a Palm Beach County middle school. I am calling to speak on Agenda Item BD2. I want the mask mandate lifted immediately, starting right now for the remainder of this school year, and I want it to continue to be lifted for the remaining school years to come. Masking our children should be optional. It should be the parents who make that decision and not the school board. The science does not back masking our children, and it's time that it stops.
Hi, my name is Lisa Maida, and I am a Palm Beach County School District parent. I am speaking on BD2 today. I would like to say the following. Please leave the mask mandate in place for the foreseeable future so that all children, including those with pre-existing conditions, can attend school in person. Children need to be vaccinated, and in great numbers, before such action should even be considered. As someone with a significant hearing loss and whose career revolves around serving the disabled, I sympathize with parents who are seeing some regression in their child's learning or behavior. However, as a social worker who is also a parent of an asthmatic child and wife of an asthmatic person with immune issues myself, I know regression is temporary and death and long-haul illness are not. I vehemently reject the notion, promulgated by a minority of very loud district parents, that masks are child abuse. In fact, exactly the opposite is true. Please continue to protect all of the district's school children until the majority have become vaccinated. Thank you sincerely for your time.
I'm calling regarding BD2. My name is Naomi Hoffman, and I'm calling in support of universal masking until all children can access the vaccine. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Kai Trento. I am commenting on board discussion agenda item BD2. I have 3 children currently enrolled in the Palm Beach County school system. I stand with parent choice. I do not consent to mask wearing. Unmask our children now. They need to breathe.
Hello, my name is Allison Proverzov. I have 2 children in Palm Beach County schools. I'm calling to ask you that you please keep the mask mandate for next school year until the elementary age children are eligible for the COVID-19 vaccine. This is an agenda item, BD2. Please don't choose to make a decision based on politics, but instead please follow the science and the CDC guidelines. Thank you for keeping our children safe.
Carrie Cathy, calling on agenda item 19, Karen Brill's request to discuss the equity statement. The district adopted this equity statement but has failed to explain, 1, how the district plans on explaining white advantage to our children, 2, how the district defines white as used in the term white advantage, 3, what systems and processes are currently in place in the district that are rooted in racism, 4, what systems and processes are currently in place in the district that benefit whites only or primarily? 5, what resources will be redistributed and from where? Has the district identified where the additional funds are needed and how they will be used? 6, many of the board members have been on board for 10 plus years, once since 2000. What have these board members done before 2021 to dismantle the systems within the district that are rooted in white advantage and or racism? 7, how does the district adopt this statement without providing details on how it will be explained to our children in a way that will not create mindsets that perpetuate race as a predictor of their current and future relationships? The district owes it to the parents to explain which systems and processes within the district it plans on dismantling and should have explained this prior to adopting this statement.
I am leaving a comment regarding board discussion item BD2. My name is Dr. Samuel Barsky, and I am a pediatrician in Palm Beach Gardens. I am speaking in favor of masks being mandatory in schools. The CDC has given clear guidance which allows for fully vaccinated people to be unmasked indoors and outdoors, but as of now that leaves all children under 12 who are currently ineligible for a vaccine, as well as anyone over 12 who is not fully vaccinated, to continue to wear a mask. As the CDC guidance continues to be updated, we will certainly follow that science. We are seeing a higher percentage of younger people getting COVID-19. There was a report that just came out today from the health officials in Palm Beach County discussing how 15% of new COVID-19 cases in Palm Beach County on May 16th were among ages 5 to 14 years old. That's an increase from 10% only 2 weeks ago. New variants are affecting younger children much more than the older population now. Now is not the time to pull back on mitigation efforts. That's what works. It's time to continue to squash this virus with what we know: hand hygiene, social distancing, and wearing masks. Until we can vaccinate our entire population, which I'm greatly looking forward to, we should continue with mask wearing and following the guidance of the CDC and the science. This will continue to put COVID-19 behind us and get us all back to our normal lives. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Wendy Amato. I'm calling regarding item number 2, BD2, and I would like to voice my opinion that masks should remain in place and that students and staff should still be wearing masks until vaccines become available for all students within Palm Beach County. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Alexandra Hagins from Boca Raton, Florida. I have 2 children in the school system, and I am speaking on behalf of the mask mandate for the children. I am 100% against enforcing our children to wear these masks. We are their parents. We should be the ones to decide whether or not their faces are covered all day. My child, I've had to put into therapy to help understand the situation. They're little kids. They need to see expressions. They need to not be afraid. They're afraid. It's time to fix this. It's done. The masks apparently did what they were supposed to do. The numbers are down. Your vaccines are being rolled out and administered. Let us choose for our children whether or not they wear a mask. It is our decision. They're our children. Governor DeSantis agrees, but apparently the school board doesn't, which is interesting considering I expect our own county to look out for our own children, but it doesn't seem to be the way. If you feel the need to keep your employees' face covered to protect them from the unvaccinated children, by all means, keep them covered. I will even buy some to donate to the school. But I 100% ask that you please get rid of this mask mandate. It's enough. It's time for our children to breathe. Their breaths count too. And you know what? They can't breathe. Thank you, and I hope you do the right thing. Have a great day.
Yes, my name is Lance Liebel, and I am speaking about a non-agenda topic. The topic I'm speaking about is masks for children at schools. I've heard that there is a petition going around that masks should be continually worn by children at schools, indoor and outdoor. I feel that this is harming the children at this point. They psychologically are in fear of not wearing a mask. I've seen them in playgrounds run away from other children, and they say, oh my God, he's not wearing a mask. He's got COVID. I'm going to get COVID. You are making a big mistake. Children are meant to be able to be free, to breathe free. All medical tests have shown that children are not receptacle to getting COVID as adults are. So therefore, we are punishing these kids. It's bad enough that they were stuck in homes for months upon months and had no relationship with other children. They need to have their freedom in the playgrounds, in the classroom, and not be afraid of breathing without a mask on. So therefore, I am opposed totally against this petition of requiring children to continually wear masks. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Kyla Rios, and this is a non-agenda item, and I would really love it if it could become an agenda item by May 19th. I have 4 children currently enrolled in Palm Beach County schools. I wanted to reach out because the masks are negatively affecting my children in significant ways on a daily basis. 2 of my children have asthma and struggle daily when getting a deep breath, and when they do pull their masks down to breathe, they are reprimanded. breathing isn't a punishable act, but somehow it has become that in a place that should be safe and cultivates learning. In light of Governor DeSantis' executive order released on May 3rd suspending all local COVID-19 restrictions and mandates on individuals and businesses, wearing masks should now be a personal choice. And especially when it comes to my children, I should be able to decide for my children what is best for them, especially when there is a medical device being required to be on their face. I have had to pick one of my children up actually from school early from dizziness because she's unable to get a deep breath. And whenever the pollen is blooming, she has an extremely difficult time because the mask actually will instigate sneezing for her when she puts it on. Thank you in advance for adding the masks to the agenda for the May 19th meeting. And I really do appreciate everything that you do. I know this is a tough time for our county, but I do ask that masks being optional will be the option for next year. I and so many of my friends with kids in public school, we cannot keep them there any longer with them in masks. So I think you will see a mass exodus of the public schools in Palm Beach County to do other avenues, private schools, homeschool education. We just cannot keep our children in masks because it is actually harming them. And also, I'll add to that sometimes they're being bullied by other children and teachers and staff at school when they aren't wearing their masks, quote unquote, the way they think they should. When really most of the time when they're slipping under their noses, they're talking and they're trying to learn and they're being so distracted by having their faces covered that they're having a really hard time with their teachers being kind to them. Teachers are fried. This is a lot for everyone to take on, and I think optional is now, it's the time now. Thank you so much for your consideration. Again, my name is Kyla Rios. Have a great day.
Yes, hi. My name is Natasha Quito. I am calling to leave a message to request that masks in the schools be put on the agenda for the May 19th school board meeting. Thank you.
Good afternoon, school board members, Superintendent Fenoy. My name is Emily Bailoff, and I'm a parent of second graders at Marsh Point Elementary School. Once again, I'm calling, begging, pleading, imploring for the continued mask mandate in our schools until all elementary school kids in particular are able to or eligible for vaccination. If the mask mandate is removed and there is not a vaccine available for elementary school students, my girls in particular, along with so many others, will potentially be placed in harm's way by those students who are not wearing masks in their classrooms. And if 5 of those students come into their classroom sick, whether the girls are wearing a mask or not wearing a mask, the chances of them getting sick is exponentially increased. With COVID, as contagious as this virus is, and with its known and disabling and deadly consequences, I implore you to please hang on to that mask mandate just a little while longer until elementary age students are eligible for the vaccine. That's all that parents who support mask mandates want. We just want in-person learning to be safe, and we want our kids to be able to receive a free and appropriate in-person education. It is not safe at this point during the pandemic to put our kids in the position to A, get sick, B, be bullied into taking their masks off, C, to be forced into either shelling out a lot of money to go to private school or being forced into a virtual option, especially for parents who work, as this is not feasible. Neither is feasible for parents who work. I appreciate you extending the mask mandates as long as you have, and I am hoping and praying and pleading with you to follow medical advice to make sure that you are listening to doctors and not politicians. Thank you.